What happens when you cross banana? What happens when you cross bananas with toffee? Well, you get possibly the best no-bake dessert there is going, and it's really easy too. It's banoffee pie. That's what we're making today, and here's everything you need. So before we get started with this recipe, there's one thing you need to do ahead of time. So get yourself 2 tins of sweetened condensed milk, and then we need to cook them. So we need to place the tins into a pan of boiling water and simmer them for 2.5 hours, and that'll turn the condensed milk into a beautiful caramel, which will be our filling for the banoffee pie. Also, make sure they've completely cooled down before you open the tins. So to begin, we're going to start by making the base, or the pie crust, whatever you want to call it, and we only need 2 ingredients for that, and that is digestive biscuits. So you can use these digestive biscuits, or you can use graham crackers, and 120 grams of melted unsalted butter. So all we'll do is we'll place the digestive biscuits into a food processor, blend them until they're a fine crumb, and then add in the melted butter until it's completely mixed through. So once that's done, you should have some nice buttery biscuit crumbs that when you press together should hold their shape. So next we're going to tip this into a 24cm tart tin and press it right to the base, spread it out all the way up the sides and compress it in there. Once you've got it spread out, you can use a glass and just use the base of it to compress it down. It just makes things a little bit easier. And then do the same again around the edges. Then we'll place it into the fridge and leave it to chill for 30 minutes. So next we need to open our tins of caramel. And I find when they first come out of the can, they can be a bit sort of lumpy and gloopy. So I like to put them into a mixing bowl and give them a little whisk just to make it nice and smooth. So it's easier to spread when we put it into our pie case. Next, pour your caramel into your base and spread it out as evenly as you can. Slice up 3 to 4 ripe bananas, and then we're going to layer them on top of the caramel. Now there's no right or wrong way to do this, just go for it. So that is now the main bit of our banoffee pie done. The next step is cream. We need cream. 400 milliliters of it to be precise. So we're going to place that into a mixing bowl with 45 grams of icing sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and whip it to soft peaks. You can of course do this in a mixer, but you just got to be really careful you don't over whip it. You want the cream to be nice and soft and just hold its shape. If you over whip it, the end results won't look as nice. And now you can generously spoon the cream on top of the bananas and then spread it out right up to the crust. And then I like to just create some peaks with the spatula to create a nice rough surface. And now for a final touch, we're going to grate some chocolate over the top. So I've got my microplane, which is a nice fine grater, and I'm just going to grate the dark chocolate straight on. But you can really top this with whatever you like. Any of your favourite chocolate bars, crunchies, twirls, flakes, you can break them up and put them on top. You can just go with the dark chocolate like this. And for a final little touch, I'm going to create some chocolate flakes. So I take my little chocolate bar and a knife and I'll just run it back along the chocolate bar, and it will create lovely little flakes that we can sprinkle on top. So there we go, beautiful banoffee pie. And now we need to leave it in the fridge for at least an hour before we can cut into it. So our banoffee pie is chilled and ready to cut into, but first I need to take it out the case. So I'll place it over a bowl and just ease the case off, just like that. And now we can cut into it. So I recommend running your knife under a hot tap or keeping it in some hot water, because then it'll cut through the cream and the toffee nice and cleanly, hopefully. And let's just go for it. And there we go, banoffee pie, nice layer of biscuit, caramel, banana, cream, and then chocolate. And there's one thing left to do, and that's to give it a try. And it tastes just like you'd expect. Banana-y, caramelly, chocolatey, creamy, absolutely amazing. But don't take my word for it, give it a go for yourself. And if you do, tag me in it, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.